are partying. Nothing wrong with partying, but just in case you're feeling guilty, maybe that's your New Year resolution to cut down or to quit altogether. I think the biggest reason why we drink is we are trying to avoid to address whatever issues that are bothering us, either money, family, deep dark secrets you don't want to talk about, but people are drinking. First things first, have a meeting with yourself. Just because you have a lot of drinking buddies, it does not mean you're all drinking for the same reason. So you have a meeting with yourself. Figure out, why are you drinking? Why are you drinking that much? No judgment. You're just trying to figure out, why are you drinking? This is mostly for people who are judging themselves. Like, you wake up in the morning and you're like, at my big age, I am waking up with a hangover again. If you have that feeling, this is for you. Another thing you can do, just be honest with yourself. You can lie to other people. People do lie to other people, but you lying to yourself is just a sad situation. Tell yourself the truth. Like, are you the problem? And even if you're not the problem, there's things you can change, there's things you cannot change. Accept them as they are. If there's something you can do about it, why not do something about it? But if it's something you cannot change, let it go. Another thing, we like criticizing ourselves so harshly. We are so harsh on ourselves. So the next thing maybe you can do is look back at what you've been through, what you have done, how much you've achieved, and tap yourself in the back. When you get to see how much you have done with your life or with yourself, and you appreciate yourself, maybe you'll drink out of celebration, but that is like a one-off thing, but not drink like you want to unalive yourself. Drinking postpones addressing of the issue. You're not addressing the issue, you will drink, you will feel numb, maybe that's what you're looking for. You wake up tomorrow and whatever the issue was is still there. For some people, it's a family background, things in the family that are messing with your mind. As we grow older, you come to find out a lot of things about your family. A lot of these things can be ignored, but others are like a part of a chain of why other things are not working. Something that happened way back 30 plus years ago is affecting what is happening now. If you come from a family that is not so close, people are not close to each other, a family where people don't trust each other, where people don't open up to each other, this is my opinion. I believe that's another reason why people drink so much, because you can't trust people at home, so you have to mingle with outsiders out in the bar, on road trips, wherever it is that you're having a drink. So when it comes to family matters, look around, everyone is grown. If you come from a family like mine, you need other relatives who are more willing to have such discussions. Other relatives who in their own homesteads, they open up to each other so they can break the ice. However, you have all the details, and the details you have, are they factual or do you just want to bring a tiff? Please also remember, there's some discussion. Once you start opening that discussion, you can either make or break that family. So be ready for the outcome. Someone has to do it. If you can't do it for your family, you have to find someone else to do it for you all. If that is going to be difficult, then the drinking will continue. A lot of people right now are dealing with debts that they could have avoided. I know people who are in debt because of family pressure, black tax. I also know people who are in debt in the name of love. You took a loan, you gave your person, it disappeared. Now you're paying loans you have nothing to do with, or rather you did not use. At the end of the day, there's frustration. You get into more debt by trying to look like you're okay. So it's like putting up patches of cloth to cover a hole, instead of turning the whole thing upside down, starting afresh. So the more you pretend to be okay, the more you indulge in substance abuse for you to feel better. There's something else also that people say, in a journey of growth, you can't carry everyone with you, you have to leave other people behind. And that is what people call cutting off. I'm sure even for you, there's people who have cut you off. Like, if you look at a few years back, the people who used to hang out with, they no longer hang out with you. And at some point in life, you decided it's okay. You are not going the same direction as far as your life plans are concerned, or they were not seeing your effort in whatever journey you guys were on, so they cut you off. For cutting off people, it doesn't have to be friends or colleagues only. Even family members. There are those family members who drain the life out of you. You must know them and you must cut them off. The year has begun. Everything is doable if you put your mind to it. Some of us need to go back to the gym like it's an urgent situation. Yes, and some of us can't party and work out. So one has to go. I was telling my friends the other day, you guys are gonna miss me. Of course they're gonna miss me, but everyone right now is grown, everyone has their own life plans. So you missing out on a party or two is not a big deal if they do care about you. So you do you. You don't need permission to do something that's going to help your life grow. A lot of the time, people say they drink because of stress. There's stress that naturally comes, and then there's stress you're looking for yourself. This is what I mean. If you're in a good position, for example, to help family members, you also have to draw boundaries. It's not all the time you can say yes. Sometimes you generally are in a position to help them if you want. Sometimes you have your own struggles, but people are so used to you having money. You don't owe them an explanation as to why you don't have money. But if you cannot help, don't commit to certain things. Maybe there's a project at home. They want to renovate the family home. They want to build a house for some relative. Right now, it's the beginning of the year. There's a lot of kids across the country that have done so well in their PSYCHOLOGIST exams. They're looking for sponsors to go to various campuses and colleges. Do not put your name out there if you know very well you are incapable. There's nothing wrong with you not being capable at that moment. Maybe they're used to you doing it for your family, they're used to you doing it for your extended family and even neighbors, people in the neighborhood who you know the kids have been doing well. If you're not in a position to commit, do not commit. You don't owe anyone any explanation, and you cannot pour from an empty cup. Sort out whatever you are struggling with first, so you do not have to hide from people and feel like you need to drink to forget the embarrassing situations. Quitting drinking is not easy. It is easier said than done. However, I believe if that's exactly what you want, that is exactly what you will do. I have a friend who I'm sure he can completely quit drinking, but this is what he's been doing. Every year in August, he stops until the next August. And then he drinks from that next August until the next August and stops. Like he drinks for 1 year fully, then 1 year he does not drink. People have different capabilities. There are people who can go cold turkey. They just stop and nothing happens to them. Then there are people who have to quit slowly, step by step. Then there are those people who need rehab. So you fight your own battle. Either way, all the best to everyone who wants to quit drinking this year. I hope you stay sober. Also, if you have never drunk and you're an adult, don't. I promise you, there's nothing interesting in drinking. And starting is easy, quitting is very hard. So now you see you don't have that challenge of drinking. Don't start. Why bother? Another way you can deal with your conflict with alcohol is by finding another activity to keep you busy. There's so much adults can do. A lot of things that adults can do. And they don't require money. Walks in the evening, in the morning, get yourself tired. If you're drinking because you're losing sleep, get yourself tired. Again, it's not easy. It's easier said than done, but try it. Another thing I noticed, you might actually not have a reason to drink, but you are a people pleaser. So where people are gathering, you see a message on the WhatsApp group, you overhear a conversation, it's something called FOMO. You want to be part of it. Every event, every road trip, whatever it is, don't be part of it. It's very costly, and the minute you find yourself in a debt you could have easily avoided, it increases the pressure, and now you have a reason to drink. So avoid people pleasing. Again, there's conflicts also. People deal with conflicts by just drinking and forgetting about those conflicts. I think it's also part of people pleasing when you really try so hard for you to win some unnecessary battles. Not all wars are for winning. If you find yourself in a situation that is pretty toxic, or it's like a competition of who's more foolish than the other, you can walk away. But the more you want to prove a point in such conflict zones, such toxic situations, the more you find yourself abusing substance, because you tried to prove a point and now you are in more trouble, you're in more debt, or you feel embarrassed because instead of winning whatever competition you thought you were participating in, you embarrassed yourself further. You have a tainted image. You feel like you want the ground to open up and swallow you whole. So yeah, avoid conflicts, avoid unnecessary conflicts, and avoid people pleasing.